And his opponent in the bottom right-hand side in the blue, representing Ting Esports. It's our American Protoss player. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Neeb.
Oh, now you're just trying to outclass me.
I'm not even trying, Grant. It's just happening.
It's just natural for you. So I spent a lot of time trying to tell Neeb publicly in the lobby to cannon rush, and he hasn't done it because he doesn't love me.
Yeah, you were really goading him into it there. You were really trying.
I was really trying. Yeah, I really want to quit. A quick 4 series here in NA. But no, we do have standard openings. Of course, Neeb is a very standard player. He's just so good. His fundamentals are fundamentally sound. Meanwhile, Cuddlebear probably is going to have to try something a little bit clever in this series to get the better of Neeb. Neeb so far just being very frustrating here with his first probe, trying to harass a little bit. Steal some minerals, maybe disrupt some patterns here. See, he's getting also a very good read, but nothing particularly interesting. And it's going to be Nexus before Cybercore here for Neeb, feeling very, very safe here on Death Aura. And this is a map you actually don't see this on that much, because the Reaper comes across really quick.
The Reaper does come across really quickly. The usual thing that I see a lot of Protoss players doing is getting those Gateway and Cyber Cores on the low ground. We talked about this a bit earlier today, but of course, you can wall off on Death Aura with just two buildings. So it's a little surprising to see Neeb expanding so quickly and then leaving all his buildings up on the high ground, not even blocking off that Reaper jump up spot completely, I don't think. So still an opportunity here for Cuddlebear to get in with his Reaper, but honestly, I don't think Neeb is too worried about it. Neeb has got to be feeling very confident about this game.
Yeah, if Neeb has to control his probe, it's really not the end of the world. You can see now the Reaper is coming across the map. And we'll head straight into the main, and then it actually looks like the Adept will be out at a fairly healthy time with that Chrono. Maybe this works on... Well, all the Protoss players now learning a little bit of something from this. Because it does seem that you can get the Adept out in time with Chrono Boost, so no probes will even have to be pulled. Actually, just perfectly timed out from Neeb.
Did you see the Adept? Did the Adept get bugged on your screen as well?
No.
Oh my god, the Adept was bugged on my screen, so he got hit with the grenade and then did like a Vince McMahon run for about 30 seconds up in the air. It was in the bounce animation, but still moving across the ground. It looked hilarious. I can't believe you didn't see it. Man, I hope somebody clips that because it was freaking fantastic. What a weird animation. As he just barely hit the grenade. It was great.
If it wasn't on my screen, then they can't clip it. It might have just been a bug for you, I'm not sure. Hopefully not. I'd like to see it if it was bugged. For now, we can see a very, 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 very fast third TC here from Cuddlebear up here on the high ground. He's going to try and out-macro his opponent. Now, Neeb has not been able to establish this, so that's very healthy here for Cuddlebear, but Neeb has a sentry very, very early. It has enough energy for hallucination. I think we'll see that fired off. Ooh, Neeb, you're sporty.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, denying that scouting from Cuddlebear and forcing, I imagine, maybe some consternation on the other side of the map. I wouldn't be surprised to see Cuddlebear getting ready to pull some SCVs off the line, maybe moving some Marines back. Yeah, we see a Marine starting right away. If he can force out a Cyclone here, that'd be a hilarious amount of damage on that Oracle. The Marines are already here, though, and they're going to realize, nah, this Oracle's not doing much.
It is a no hallucination. No pull from Cuddlebear. Cuddlebear actually didn't overreact at all. That is what he was asking for. Of course, the Oracle offering the exact same amount of scouting information there as a Phoenix, albeit very slightly slower. But really what he was hoping for was a waterfall down to the natural. It didn't happen. Cuddlebear on his game. He had gone to the main, but he didn't see much. Neeb doing such a great job with observers. That's his third Kraton at the 4.5 minute mark.
Goodness gracious, that's quite quick from a Protoss player. That's impressive. Good work from Neeb here, which is good because, as you pointed out earlier, Cuddlebear going for that early third command center also. Both players playing very economic here, which I've got to say is probably going to go in favor of Neeb. He's not only a late game master, but Cuddlebear is also really struggling with micro and arm pain right now. So if Neeb can force him into a disruptor war, which he's already doing that Robo Bay down moments ago, look for some speed on the way. Even if he doesn't go for disruptor drops, forcing disruptors out and making Cuddlebear micro, hitting him almost literally where it hurts is going to be a great play from Neeb.
That's so nasty, Neeb. Yeah, I agree. It's really sad to see such titans of the game, Euthermal, Cuddlebear, in their respective regions, really struggling with pain right now. You hope it gets better, you really, really do, because the last thing anyone wants to see is anyone in pain. But we do have that first Disruptor drop now out on the map, and there's a potential for a huge, huge amount of damage here.
Huge damage indeed. Disruptor drops can be so scary, especially if they're not scouted, not responded to. You can get upwards of, I mean, what is it, Grant? 3, 4, 5 probes going to be a value push here, and oh my god, the fake Warp Prism in the main. Let's see if Cuddlebear, and that means no probe natural either. 7 probes is a great number there for Neeb, and the Disruptor gets out alive, and he's already working on that extended thermal lance. First Colossus already on the field. Beautiful, beautiful start from Neeb here.
Yeah, Neeb couldn't really be happier with this. He's in a great position. He didn't lose anything. As he lost a unit to give a probe. He got 7 workers in the Reaper already for a probe, and that was his scouting probe. That tank had a look. He spun pretty quick.
Yeah, he did. Oh, the Warp Prism is going to go down. The Disruptor. Nice splits from Cuddlebear there, actually.
Yeah, big pickup.
A little bit sloppy.
Yeah, Neeb flying in where he'd already seen units. It's a little bit of a shame. But of course, behind this, Cuddlebear now takes an army advantage lead even. But economically, Neeb's at 66 workers and still firing away. He's getting 6 more gates. He's getting a Templar Archives. He's getting +1. He's getting Zealot Charge, Extended Thermal Lance, as my House Info commentator previously mentioned, is now coming in. And Neeb has everything he needs.
Cuddlebear's just been hamstrung, man. Sure, he got his 3rd base early, but losing all those SCVs really ate into his economy just a little bit too much, honestly. Did these players not... Oh, hang on. Oh, I've got Numlock on. Hang on. There it is. I was going to say, Cuddlebear did have a distinct income advantage there for a moment, but Neeb's Disruptor shot actually destroyed him there. Yeah. And Neeb now has been ahead in income for pretty much the entire game, and that's really going to play out very well for Neeb, who is playing a more economically intense style. That Robo Bay and the Robo Bay units, Colossus Disruptors, require a huge mineral income. So being on 3 bases, no harassment on his probe lines at all. Neeb's feeling very confident in pushing out now.
Yeah, the observers for Neeb have done so much. We see a scan go down there as well from Cuddlebear. I think he may have thought he saw an observer, but he didn't. Or it dodged out. Something happened, I'm not really sure. Neeb is going to meet this army head-on. He does have 2 Colossus. Extended Thermal Lance is done, so he is able to chase this down. There's very, very few Marauders in the army, and he has an Archon here. Neeb has a little, but what he has is very, very strong right now. He has Sentries for Force Fields, he has an Archon, he has Colossus, he has Guardian Shield, of course. He has those Charge Zealots that can offer so much in terms of tanking. But Cuddlebear's going, and Neeb really doesn't have that much.
Well, he's an 83 army supply. He does have a lot going on in the natural, or the 3rd base right now of Cuddlebear, which is getting destroyed by, I believe, a Zealot run by. Yeah, those Zealots tearing apart, which means that this is certainly Cuddlebear's last stand. Scouting team is going to see exactly what Neeb is up against. I think they're confident, honestly. There are no ghosts out yet for Cuddlebear, which means the shields for Neeb will be intact, and he's got Extended Thermal Lance finished on 3 Colossi. Shield batteries at the 3rd should help him to stay alive for a little longer, and he's going for a flank.
Yeah, the flank is going to be so important. He needs to split the tank fire here, and that's exactly what he's doing. But Cuddlebear's tank spread is phenomenal. It looks like Neeb maybe, just maybe, will be able to push through. There's still a lot down at the south here that seem to be doing a decent job, but Neeb just so good. The perfect amount in the perfect positions. I mean, Neeb is able to push this back. At the other side of the map, of course, he did kill so many workers. I mean, our Terran player has 49 49 workers right now. Neeb's in the 70s. Neeb's adding on his 2nd Robo. His 4th is fully established. Dark Shrine on the way. Unfortunately for Cuddlebear, it's not just his arm that's going to hurt. His heart will hurt too by the end of this game.
That poor guy. 2nd Robo down, and that means, of course, we are going to see the Warp Prism out immediately for Neeb. That's going to allow him to reinforce from the front lines. Cuddlebear setting up for a bit of an attack here at the 4th base, rather, of Neeb. There's not much here. Neeb warping some in now. There is 1 Colossus, though, and that's honestly all it takes is 1 Extended Thermal Lance of the Colossus to scare the bejesus out of Cuddlebear and prevent him from really moving into that 4th base and doing any damage. Cuddlebear on 3 bases. There's no 4th base even in production yet, and he's going for a big drop here, Grant.
Yeah, Neeb knows about this drop, but he didn't react quick enough, and now there's a possibility he could lose his +2 weapons. Armor finishes in time, but +2 weapons will be denied, and that's a big, big pickup here from Cuddlebear. The beginning of everything he needs to bring this back. Of course, his army's still very strong, his upgrade's still good, He's been able to produce a lot of SCVs, now back up into the 60s. He has Ghosts on the way, he has Enhanced Shockwaves on the way. There's a possibility that Cuddlebear can certainly still do this. He's in a better position than he was even a minute ago, and he's doing a really, really good job.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at that army value tab, you'll see that the armies are roughly right on the same value. The big difference, though, is that Neeb's army, of course, much more technologically complex than Cuddlebear's. Cuddlebear finally getting Ghost Academy finished up, finally working on that advanced shockwaves for the larger EMP blast radius for his ghosts, and finally getting an armory to maybe start working on 2-2. But Neeb's already finished up those extra 2 forges, and he really should get 2-2 spitting right away.
Yeah, Neeb needs to get that going because his opponent hasn't been able to capitalize, and we see that starting as I'm speaking on the upgrade advantage. He does have an armory, right? No. Well, we're just going to see it. Okay, it's just finishing. So now we should see some upgrades start to kick in here for our Terran play, but the armory is very, very late. And it doesn't allow Cuddlebear to capitalize on the damage he did. Neeb pushing in the 7th position, but I don't know.
Yeah, Neeb's on 2 Forge, and of course we just see that second engineering bay just finishing up now for Cuddlebear, so he's a little behind. Initially, a good disruptor shot here, and now the disruptor count is just going to continue to grow and get scarier and scarier. Nice kiting here from Cuddlebear to try and get away. The army supply is roughly even, but of course these charge slots going to get on top, and look at how low that army is. I'm glad you got damaged health bars on, Grant, because my god, there is not much left here for the Terran, player.
No, Cuddlebear did a good job kiting for as long as he possibly could, but Neeb's army is just getting ridiculous. He's adding more disruptors. He's getting Shadow Stride for those DTs. Another Stargate is going down, or the first Stargate even, I believe, right? Yeah. For that transition, or if he even just wants to get a few Oracles. A decent fight here from Cuddlebear. He does now have a decent Viking count as well. As I repeat the word decent 100 times. These Zealots, though, finding decent damage up here in the 3rd base, and Cuddlebear just can't handle Neeb at the moment.
You're doing a decent job of commentating, that's for sure, Grant. Cuddlebear getting pushed back to his 3rd base, and that allows Neeb the time he needs to get across the map. He will need to be very conscientious of the Vikings that are out for Cuddlebear right now. Cuddle's sitting on 7 Vikings, which is a fairly decent number. You can see those Vikings getting a volley off against the Colossi there in the middle of the map. And of course, with these tank setups, it's going to make it very difficult for Neeb to find the angle that he needs to really engage into the 3rd base of Cuddles. So instead, he's going to go ahead and rotate back around and maybe hit the 3rd base from the west side rather from the east. The DT barely getting sniped down. That Marine is going to be telling that story in the bar later tonight.
Yeah, but it killed 15 workers that run by once again, and that's the story of this. I mean, workers killed 1 to 40.
Wow.
Yeah, Neeb really on top of his harassment in this game. The Ghost Academy is in the open here, great, and then Ghost is going to be so important. Another disruptor shot getting so much damage. Blinkstalk is blinking forward to try and get on top of the Vikings. Purification Nova's going out, not able to get massive connections, but good enough. The Ghost Academy will survive. Oh, he's even using the Stalkers on the backside. Behind this, Fleet Beacon, +2/+2 is just finishing, +1 air weapons, and Neeb's getting ready.
What? He set up a super battery. He's going to set up a shield battery overcharge right next to that 3rd base so that he can keep putting pressure on Cuddlebear all diggity-dong day long, Grant. That is ridiculous. Fleet Beacon on the way, +1 air weapons on the way. Neeb is transitioning, and Cuddlebear simply isn't. Look at that, +2 just finishing up now, +2 armor just finishing up now for Cuddlebear, and he's not going into Liberators. He's not adding on more Vikings. He's not building more starports. He is not prepared at all for the carriers that are almost certainly in his future. Though, Grant, I'm not sure this game is going to get to that point.
No, once again, these disruptors finding huge damage, and they're able to outrange the army here. There's DTs, there's Zealots, there's still a Colossus standing strong with a good amount of kills, Archons to tank, Stalkers to support, and a Mothership on the way here for Neeb. Neeb knows he's in a great position, so he's going to channel his inner M. Canning and add a Mothership to the composition. Of course, M. Canning, the best player in North America and possibly the world, so a fitting tribute here to our Lord and Saviour. We do have a fight looking like it's going to come down, though, right in the middle of the map, Creighton.
Yeah, I don't think either player really wants to take this fight. This is one of those awkward fights where like both players are rotating their armies, but nobody really wants to engage here. A bit unfortunate from both players. Neeb did lose a fair few units there, but it really doesn't matter. He's remaxed immediately. The Mama ship on the way, and Cuddlebear is not prepared at all for Neeb at his main base. Cuddlebear realizes he can't win this. He's just going to go for the base trade, but Neeb may have a little Protoss trick up his sleeve that starts with R and rhymes with E-call.
I can't think of anything. Some big EMPs to uncloak the DTs there. Very well played. A lot of workers going down. We're getting to a weird base trace now, and Neeb doesn't really need to do this. he's probably going to take down a lot of the economy and then, as you said, drop a recall. I'd like to see that here. Looks like Cuddlebear is trying to push him, but there's so many DTs, and Cuddlebear soon is going to have to take off his command centers, which makes it very, very difficult for him to scan. He'll have to EMP and things. His army is also so queued up. I'm surprised Neeb's committing to this. I'm not so sure. If there's any way you can lose a game when you're very ahead of base rates, it's always super, super terrifying.
Yeah, it's smart, though, I think, to get the DTs going up in the main, because, of course, as you said, Scan's going to become more and more unavailable as Cuddlebear loses not just one, not just two, but three of his four orbital commands. Of course, that Mama ship will go down very quickly, so chat, you know what to post there. Wow, that was the most aggressive I've ever seen a mothership blow up before. It didn't do its little crashing to Earth animation. How strange. 19 SCVs going down, though, and now the buildings from Neeb buildings from Cuddlebear, rather, need to take off very quickly. He can't save this, and he's got to buy himself some time if he wants to win this very wonky base trade, because Neeb has 4 bases still operating, and Cuddlebear's down to 1.
So weird. Neeb literally taking every base on the map. Purification Neighbors going out. Oh my god, that's so many dead. Neeb's killed 110 workers and still climbing this game. Nearly 120. He hits the 120 mark. That's the most workers I've seen killed in the game in a very, very long time, especially a game that's really not been that long. You know, in a 40-minute game maybe, but we're not even at 17 minutes yet. And in total, we've seen 147 workers go down across the game. Cuddlebear has no more bases, and unfortunately, that means he is going to be revealed for a moment.
Oh no, he's rebuilt though. He's at the 3 o'clock there, building a command center. Look at him go. He's keeping himself secret, but he has no production left.
He tried to rebuild it here.
Down now. So Neeb is completely supply blocked. We need to see a bunch more pylons coming down right away so that he can reinforce. But the army's going to finally clash here, and I think without an amazing, these disruptor shots will destroy most of what Cuddles has. The tank's going down immediately. Ghost going down as well. GG, well played, and Ting's Neeb grabs game number 1.
Just really want to play. The base rate may be a little bit unnecessary. Neeb was very ahead. He could have just taken 1 base and recalled. But Cuddlebear, I think he put in some good moves. Neeb's just so good. And now we move on to Golden Wall.
Yeah, we do. Golden Wall LE, our next map. This is the first game I've seen on Golden Wall in about 2 days, Grant, and I'm so jazzed. I'm real excited about it. TVP on Golden Wall is so much fun. Who am I kidding? Every game on Golden Wall is so much fun. But my suspicion is that Cuddlebear may have an ace up his sleeve here. Yesterday, we saw him play a game 2 twice, I believe. No, that's not true. But we've seen him play some game 2s, and Cuddlebear is one of those rare players who, even if he's down a map in game 2, still gonna go for a proxy double racks or something. It's wild.
Does he do that? Is he that kind of player?
Oh, 100%. Especially since his arm's hurting. He needs to get the game done real quick.
Loading into this map now. Golden Wall gonna be a lot of fun. I see some of you. I said Canning was the best player in NA, and someone's like, he's far from the best player in NA. He's the best player in the damn motherfucking world. And none of you can change my mind.
M. Canning's the best player in the world. Don't change my mind. Not listening. Just sip your tea and move on. M. Canning currently sitting at 4-0 in his group with some big wins, so we'll see if he can keep that up. Anyway, game number 2, guys, coming at you now. Golden Wall, Cuddlebear versus Neeb. Grant, let's introduce our 2 players.
Oh yeah, starting off with our Blue Terran player representing America. He is Alpha X's Blue Terran player. It's Cuddlebear.
And his opponent on the far right-hand side in the red, representing Ting Esports and the United States of America, the one, the only, the Neeb.
You're introducing him like he's a boxing, like a fighter.
I'm halfway there. You don't want to see me go full fight promoter because I can bring it if I have to, Grant.
Are you psychic?
I've seen Cuddlebear play, man. His arm at this point. Remember, so for those of you who don't know and who haven't been following the B stream all week for North America, Cuddlebear's arm is destroyed. He played a series on the first day of NA, and after the series, he typed to his opponent, "Please wait. I need 1 minute. My hand is numb." Like, that's how messed up his nerves and tendons and everything are. So there's no question in my mind that Cuddlebear is in pain right now and just wants this experience to be over. I don't even know if he expects to win this series anymore. He's a great player, don't get me wrong, but he is struggling so much right now, and I'm not surprised to see him doing this double proxy racks. Gonna go unscouted by Neeb, by the way.
Yeah, Neeb's finally sending a probe, but of course the probe is going to pop in and see that there is a barracks and a depot wall that has been blocked, and the Marine first may be a little bit indicative of something funky going on, but the SCV looking like it's going down to expand here. Of course, that is not going to happen. The SCV going to block. Neeb has no idea. He's gone for his Cybercore before Nexus, hasn't he? Yeah, he has, which is very, very important in this. But Neeb really needs to identify this, and he's not going to. Now, the Marine first, it's not common, but it's not uncommon at the same time, if you know what I mean. So, interesting to see if Neeb has any idea what's going on.
Yeah, Marine first openers in TVP are becoming more commonplace over the past few months because fewer and fewer Terran players can get those Reapers on certain maps into the main base. So they're just going straight for the Marines instead. This has been kept very secret, very safe up in the top side. But Neeb back home. Second Nexus already almost finished up here, working on his Adept. He does have a little bit on the ground right now.
Yeah, this Adept is moving across the map now, and this I think is the point of this push. I'm surprised Cuddlebear's waiting this long, because the battery could be going up right now. Of course it isn't. The Stargate's gone down for Neeb. I really like Cuddlebear in this. He has a lot of potential. If he can kill this Adept early, that would be great. It doesn't look like he's going to get the kill. But right now, Neeb should be like, what is going on? This is very weird. And yeah, immediately a battery in the natural. And we should see a Stalker set up as well here. Yeah, he sees now that there's no natural. He knows what he's playing against. And a second battery goes down. I think maybe Cuddlebear waited a little bit too long here, Creighton.
Yeah, the question in Neeb's mind is not what's going on, but how many barracks are there now at this point? Seeing that, and especially, once he checked that natural, he knows. And look at that choo-choo coming across from Cuddlebear's main base. It looks like everything. Bring into the main base, or the natural base of Neeb here, and he has got to hold on because there are some SCV's Marines coming. A nice initial hit here. The shield battery finishing up just in time, and the second one finishing as well. Grant, this is going to be a really tough break for Cuddlebear.
There's enough energy on the Nexus for an overcharge. You can see more batteries coming down. Another Stalker will pop pretty soon. There's a Void Ray in production. Neeb's SimCity playing into his hands here. We should see an overcharge on the battery, and there it is. And that means these units really aren't going to take any damage. They just won't die. They get instantly recharged. Adept with this super battery. Neeb's moved out of range. He loses an Adept. That's a big, big loss. More batteries finishing up. And I think Neeb in a great position to take game 2. And we should be seeing those two magic levels very shortly.